I thought there were some good looks. You never know when the opportunities are going to present themselves. I think that's what you work all week preparing for, being able to identify them and pull the trigger and hit them when they're there. We had some good opportunities. I thought guys made great plays down the field. Paul started us out with a heck of a catch and to finish it off with a touchdown. But a lot of guys, there were a couple even short throws and long runs, which are always nice as well.
Could you talk a little bit about what you all were able to do on offense as far as mixing it up with the passing game and the running game? AP had 87 yards in the first half.
Yeah, we had a great mix going. Felt like we had them on their heels in the first half. They didn't have a very good beat. I felt like on what we were doing, run and pass. It was fun. It was when you're playing like that and rolling offensively, felt like we got the playmakers to do all that stuff, run and pass. Unfortunately for us, I think all of us offensively, second half, a little bit of the shoulda, woulda, coulda. Hoping we could have done it differently. There were some opportunities there too. We had some field position and weren't able to capitalize. So still a lot of room left for improvement.
Alex, you had a lot of production with Jordan Reed and Vernon Davis today. How much of that was game plan going in, if you saw something? And with Jordan specifically, what are you kind of seeing more and more out of him? You obviously didn't get to see him during the preseason. What are you seeing now 3 games into the year with him?
No, it's hard to totally forecast. who's going to have a big day. You build the game plan. You can't totally know how they're going to play us in certain personnels and the looks you're going to get. I think the coaches do a great job of having all that stuff ready, depending on the looks we're getting, personnel they're playing to us, things like that, and then getting to some of those. So really a credit to those guys. Yeah, and then I think the more, not just Jordan, all of us kind of continue to work together. All those reps, you just bank all that stuff. It gets better and better, but certainly Jordan in the games, you just kind of continue to build on all those reps you've had together.
Not to go too negative, but in the second half, was there a sense of just being a little too conservative with Lee? Maybe?
No, I don't think so. I don't think we at all. We didn't. And listen, when you're playing against that offense and Aaron, you certainly don't come into halftime and say, hey, let's, no, not at all. That's not what we're doing. But nonetheless, feel like they countered us well. There were some self-inflicted things that we did. I thought they were uncharacteristic too, that we got to get cleaned up.
Did you feel like, or did the team feel like that you were going to use Adrian a little bit more today because he's had such success against the Packers in the past?
Hadn't thought of that till you just said it. Nope. I do know he has had some big games for some in the past, but no, this is a totally different offense, different O-line, different scheme, they're different defense. No. He's obviously a guy though that we'd love to get going every game. So.
One common thing is Aaron Rodgers is still the quarterback there, and you guys, are friends. Did you have any conversation with him after the game?
Just quick. It's hard. There's too many of you guys around to have a real conversation. So, but yeah, just quick. He's out there. He's a gutty guy with the brace on, rolling. Not much practice. Still making a lot of plays. Obviously, still playing at a crazy high level. So tough competitor.
Back to Adrian for a second. He had some big plays there in the second half to help you close out the Packers.
Yeah.
How important is it to have a weapon like him who can break off a 17-yard run in the clutch there?
I think it just speaks not only to Adrian, our ability as an offense. I think the guys up front, that when we needed to get big and kind of in that 4-minute situation and eat up some clock and move the chains, that we were able to do it. And credit to those guys up front, everybody in the blocking unit, but obviously Adrian as well, running hard. Great vision, I think, finishing off a lot of those runs.
You've been with a lot of coaches. What have you gotten a feel for with Jay so far as to how he calls a game, and what do you like to work with during the week?
Sum it all up right now. That's no different than, the work I put in with the wideouts and the guys outside. That's something that you just constantly, you'll never stop working at that. That communication, that thought process, I'm sure it goes both ways. Talk to Jay, and as far as, he's trying to do the same thing with all of us. Read us, get us going. So yeah, it's a two-way street. I just think you kind of continue. You never stop working at that communication. You never stop working at that thought process, self-analysis. We get a chance here at the bye week to really kind of get into some of that. I know it's early, only 3 games in, but really kind of take a look at ourselves and these areas of improvement, things to build on, stuff like that.
I know you'll take the 15 yards on it, but
Yeah.
the Clay Matthews
Yeah.
sack,
Yeah.
What did you think about that call?
I don't want to get myself in trouble here. Yeah, it's tough. I'm glad I don't play defense. You talk about a strike zone a lot of times with a quarterback, and these guys, it's kind of knees to shoulders, right? They can't hit us in the head and can't hit us in the knees when we're in the pocket. It's tough. I felt like he's playing football. He's played a long time. He hit me right in the strike zone. That's the new rule they put in, though, with these guys finishing off quarterbacks to the ground. Listen, there were calls. You could go with the what-if calls all day. I felt like certainly we owed a call on the interception with Jordan, some contact there. So, I don't know.
Alex, what did happen on that play, on the interception?
Yeah, obviously the tough leverage there, but I felt like Jordan trying to break out, and the guy, there's a collision there, obviously clearly beyond 5 yards, and it's a huge play in the game, to throw it out there, and in hindsight, obviously would love to have it back, but tough play.
Protection's been up and down the last couple of weeks, but it seemed like it was there more today. And what did you think of the protection, and then how does that play in your ability to eventually extend plays and scramble?
I thought the pro was great today. I think the strength of that defense was up front, and they got a lot of guys up front, especially interiorly, in the interior, that are really, really good. And, for us to move around the pieces, Berge stepping in at center, Chase moving the left guard, Ty having to come in to tackle, really speaks, I think, the work ethic of that unit, preparing themselves, being ready to roll, and I don't think anybody skipped a beat. Those guys came in and played at a really high level.
And just to ask you again, the scrambling, you made a couple big plays with your legs today. How important is that to keep the defense honest, that you can tuck the ball and run?
Yeah, you never know when it's going to happen, when those opportunities present themselves. I think you just want to be able to capitalize when they do. Kind of hidden yardage, we talk about as far as a quarterback running, and yeah, you'd love to be able to make them pay when they are locked in and playing man, and given all these, a lot of our playmakers focus that if you can't get out, the protection's been great, that you can make a play with your feet. So,
Alex, the receiving corps was criticized the first couple of weeks for not being very productive, but today, especially in the first half, you seem to be able to get the balls to them a lot more. Was that a big help for you to extend the offense?
Well, we're trying to score points. We try to get first downs to help us win a game. I don't think anybody really cares who gets the glory or what. I do think it was a unique situation in the sense of the two defenses that we played the first 2 weeks. They just weren't gonna give you a whole lot out there, and certainly there were probably some things we did miss, but they were never going to be huge days. And today, just the way that the things aligned and matched up, we had those opportunities, and those guys made them.
So obviously there have been comparisons between you and Aaron going back to 2005 and before that. Even today, and you're established. When you're going up against a team that he's quarterbacking, do you view it as a litmus test at all? Does it even cross your mind? Just it's another chance to go up against a guy you have a lot of history with.
Yeah, a lot there. I think, yeah, certainly he and I are always tied together, good friends at this point, and have been for quite a while. I think every quarterback in the league, Aaron is such a unique player, can appreciate with a unique skill set and how he plays the game, that everybody, I think, is a fan of his, and what he does. We all kind of, I think, watch each other and see what we do. With that, no, they're a good football team. I'm not playing against Aaron, though. I'm playing against the defense, and I'm trying to go out and score, obviously, a lot of points. You do know, like I talked about at halftime, you do know what he's capable of, and they're capable of offensively, that they can strike fast, they can get hot, and for us, I think knowing that. But at the same time, the focus is still on the defense we were going against.
Alex, when you talk about running with the ball and extending the plays, are there points where you see like the defense is giving you an opportunity maybe, and 2 plays later you'll take advantage of it, or are they literally moment-by-moment decisions?
Oh, both. For sure, there's things I either see out there in the field when I look up after a pass or something, or on the sidelines when we're looking at the cut-ups, that hey, maybe you have an opportunity here if it does present itself. And then a lot of times you're just playing ball. Things are happening fast, and all of a sudden you're in the open field running. Not a lot of conscious thinking. Yeah.
Did you feel like it was anything other than just a natural play? Was he trying to put his extra weight on?
You had a better view of it than I did. Listen, I was just trying to hold on to the football. That's just a term I talk about with the strike zone. I mean, that's that's the deal with QBs in the pocket. Yeah, and the new rule this year is literally you can't finish them. I like I said, I didn't see it. I mean, at that point, you're doing what you can to hold on to the football. I looked up and saw the flag. So that's the nature of football, like I talked about with these games. They're not going to be perfect. Certainly, I felt like there were calls that we had or different things that should have happened or didn't, things like that. So that's always going to be a part of it. Certainly, there's some gray here, I think, with this that needs to get ironed out.
Thanks, Alex.
Thank you.
What's up? What's up? How y'all doing? All right. It felt great. You know, you can see it during the week. You know, the focus, the determination. You know, last week was an embarrassment, and you can tell throughout the week the guys were taking it. Guys took it personal. So we came out today. The offensive line did a great job of establishing up front and giving us time, the running backs, quarterback, time to go through the progression and make plays. So I feel like it was a good team effort.
On any one thing, were you guys able to find one or two plays that could really get you going today, or were you guys still in that varied scheme and just were able to execute better?
I think mainly the execution was better. You know, you kind of look at the line of scrimmage today compared to last week. You know, it was night and day. And like I've said before, defensive line, offensive line, that's the key to any offense and any defense. So those guys set the tone, and we were able just to do what we do as skilled players.
Adrian, you got 19 carries today. Are you hoping that becomes the norm? 19, 20, maybe 25 carries a game. You want to be the workhorse. You want to be getting the ball the majority of the time. Or is this something we're going to see game after game?
I hope so. You know, it hasn't. You know, it felt good to get out there and again get into a rhythm and establish and be physical and get some nice chunks. You know, so it's like, hey, if it's not broke, don't fix it.
Adrian, how aware of you are of the historical things that you're approaching? I mean, I think you're 2 touchdowns away from John Riggins, and then Jim Brown is there in touchdowns, and then Walter Payton is there. I mean, and how much do you look forward to breaking those? And is there anyone on that list that you really want to surpass?
You know, I really haven't had time to kind of look at it. You know, it felt good to get into the 100 club. So I have a little time off now. Maybe I can kind of look and see who I'm approaching. You know, Riggins, he's a guy that I do remember seeing up there on the list and thinking, you know, God's willing, I'll be able to pass him, you know, eventually. But I kind of simplify it for myself. You know, it's like, hey, go out there, execute the game plan, and within that, you have the opportunity to pass guys and, you know, accomplish some great things. So, you know, that right there is my main focus when I step on the field.
Adrian, you've said before that you like, generally speaking, running with nobody in front of you because sometimes people can just get in the way, but that's certainly not the case with you and Ryan. It seems you guys have a pretty good rapport, frankly, in terms of he gets out in front of you, you score a touchdown. That's the way it seems.
Mm-hmm.
How would you describe Ryan and his ability to block for you? You guys have 3 touchdowns together in that goal line formation.
I think he's doing an excellent job, and you know, he's always come to the side like, hey, AP, what can I do different? You know, I'm like, hey, just play fast, and I'll play off you, because things change when that ball snaps. But I feel like he's doing a great job of executing what's being coached to him, and you know, whatever happens in front of me, I have to make a play. You know, so he's been doing a great job of allowing me to get into the end zone.
Hey, Adrian, the first couple of weeks, we didn't see a lot of the chunk plays through the passing game downfield involving receivers. And as a running back, when you don't see that, what goes through your mind, and what's the difference when you get that sort of action you got today with those downfield passing plays?
You know, that's what you want. You want to establish the run, the run, and keep the balance, the defense, on their heels. Not knowing if it's a pass, or if it's a run, play action. That creates those opportunities downfield. So we didn't experience that much last week. Week 1 we did, and we was able to display that again today. So it plays off each other.
Adrian, you haven't been with the team that long, and it's only 3 weeks into the season. It's been through the 3 weeks up and down so far, with an up today. Have you figured out, or do you have a sense of what this team is all about and where this team can go after 3 games?
Yeah, I have a great sense. Bouncing back. That probably was the worst game I've ever been a part of last week, and for guys to bounce back and come in ready to work, focus on with a great Green Bay team coming in, it shows the guys are resilient. I see the talent. Obviously, we knew last week was, no one was, happy about that performance, and it was a lot of things that we could have done personally to come out with that win, as terrible as we played. So it's just all about realizing that and fixing the things and coming out and having a complete game. I think offensively we did that, defensively and special teams. Special teams did an incredible job again today, switching the field position, and that's huge when you're playing the Packers. So it was a good collective effort today in order to pull this W off.
Adrian, to go back to what you were talking about earlier, some of the names on that list. Obviously, John Riggins is in your building quite a bit. Have you had a chance to talk to him, and if so, what have those conversations been like?
I talked to him briefly during an event we had. Was it week 2? I think it was a preseason, last preseason. The third preseason game. And I just asked him, I know you was a back that was in, over the 30, and obviously you know how they look down on us. What kept you focused, and it was just like taking care of my body, and having that mindset that you still got it, and that determination, and most importantly playing with that heart. And I was like, hey, those are some of the same things that keeps me going. So it's always good to get like confirmation from guys who have done it before.
Adrian, you have 52 career 100-yard games. 9 of them have been against the Packers. What do you have against against that team?
I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't really have anything against them. It's all about getting a W. So I can't sit here and say, oh, my level of competition, goes to a different level when we play Green Bay. I don't know. I guess it just happens like that. Can't really explain. Who else? Thanks, AB.
Okay, Adrian, now you said that you really like Washington's offensive line coming into playing for them, and right now there's a lot of moving pieces with players coming in and out of the lineup. You know the team better than we do, so how do you feel about the people that are being inserted as people go out, come back in? How do you feel about playing behind the offensive line with all the movement?
I feel good. It's a testament to the guys that we have that aren't starters, and guys being moved around to play different positions. It's just a testament to those guys being in sync, being coached well, and picking up the slack. Because guys go down, it's like the next man up. So it's just hats off to those guys because they did a great job of doing what they were asked to do, moving positions and getting the job done. So they did that today. They got it done.
Hey, Adrian, you said that last week was the worst game you've been a part of. Why was it that? And then what did you see early on today that maybe told you it was going to be a lot different today?
Well, just starting off today, it was just the focus and, the level, the energy level that we had. And, it was evident coming into the locker room this whole week. You know, I knew there was no way we were going to come out and be flat today. So that alone, you know, this is a game of football. It's about the most important thing is playing smart football and executing. But you have to play fast, physical, you know, for 4 quarters. And we did that. I feel like if we do that every week, you know, we're going to have a chance to win every game that, you know, that we are a part of. And, you know, last week, that was terrible. I don't know. You know, it was just a poor performance offensively, defensively. You know, special teams did decent, you know, but and then the fans booing as well. So it's like, for me, it's like, it was just a bad experience. But we switched all that up today. You know, we had a lot of energy within the stadium, and that's what we need. That gets us going offensively and defensively to have our, you know, our fans into it and giving us the extra push that we need.
Adrian, the prevailing thought in the league right now is that running backs over 30 can't really get it done. How do you think your performance has helped to dissuade the theory that running backs under 30 can't be productive anymore?
It's like, hey, you know, I can't change people's perspective and their opinion, but because people will still say, hey, these guys can't do it over 30 still, you know. Only thing I try to do is be an example to let people know that, hey, you can. You know, you can break through the box. Don't let people define you or box you in. It's all about your mentality. Of course, taking care of your body, having that faith most importantly. And, you know, in anything you do, you get out what you put in. You know, so that's the message that I want to continue to put on display throughout the season.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.